The first light of dawn creeps through the curtains, but the eyes don't seek the sun. Instead, they find the glowing rectangle on the bedside table. It's an instinctive reach, a muscle memory formed over years of repetition. Before the brain is even fully awake, the thumb is already swiping through endless feeds. The day hasn't even begun, but the noise of the world is already pouring into a fragile mind. This is how the cycle starts, every single morning, without a second thought. It feels like a necessity, but it's actually a digital trap that captures your attention before you've even had a chance to breathe. The blue light pierces through the dim room, casting long, artificial shadows against the bedroom walls. Within seconds, the mind is flooded with notifications, sensational headlines, and updates that don't truly matter to his life. The natural silence of the morning is shattered by the digital roar of other people's opinions and demands. It feels like catching up, but in reality, it's falling behind the pace of your own soul. His pupils dilate as they take in 1,000 different stimuli before his feet even touch the floor. The peaceful transition from sleep to wakefulness is completely bypassed for a hit of instant dopamine. As he scrolls, the stress of the day begins to settle in prematurely. An email from a colleague, a stressful news alert, and the curated lives of strangers on social media create an invisible weight on his shoulders. His heart rate begins to climb as he processes tasks he isn't ready to handle yet. The bedroom, which should be a sanctuary, has become an extension of the office and the marketplace. He is no longer the master of his own morning. He is a reactive participant in a game he didn't choose to play. The beauty of the early hour is lost to the white noise of the internet. He finally puts the phone down, but the damage is already done. His mind is cluttered with 100 different thoughts that aren't his own. He stands up, but his movement is sluggish, his brain already feeling the fatigue of a long day's work. The simple act of making the bed or finding his slippers feels like a chore because his mental energy has been drained by the screen. He walks toward the kitchen, but he's not present in the room. He's still thinking about a comment he read or a task he saw on his screen. The disconnect between his physical body and his digital mind is growing wider. In the kitchen, the routine continues with a sense of frantic urgency. He tries to pour his coffee, but his eyes keep darting back to the device sitting on the counter. He accidentally spills a few drops because his focus is divided between the physical world and the digital one. The aroma of the beans is ignored, and the warmth of the mug is barely felt. He is physically there, but mentally he is miles away, trapped in a loop of information. This lack of presence is the hidden cost of the morning scroll. Every small task becomes slightly more difficult when you are not fully there to perform it. He stares out the window for a moment, realizing that he feels exhausted before the sun is even fully up. The realization hits him like a cold wave. He has given away his most precious hour to a piece of glass and metal. The clarity he needs to face the day's real challenges has been traded for a series of distractions. He feels a sense of regret as he looks at the beautiful morning light he almost missed. This is the moment of choice, the point where the frustration of the habit finally outweighs the comfort of it. He knows something has to change if he wants to reclaim his peace. The next morning, the scene begins differently. The alarm goes off and the hand reaches for the phone as it always does, but this time it stops. He pulls his hand back, taking a deep, conscious breath instead. He leaves the device face down on the nightstand, choosing the silence of the room over the noise of the network. He closes his eyes again, not to sleep, but to simply be present in the quiet. The room feels larger, more peaceful, and the air feels easier to breathe. He is reclaiming the first minute of his life for himself, setting a new boundary for his mind. Instead of looking at a screen, he walks to the window and pulls the curtains wide. The real world floods in, golden sunlight, the swaying of trees, and the gentle movements of the morning. He watches the colors shift in the sky, feeling a connection to the rhythm of nature that he hadn't felt in months. His eyes adjust to the natural light, and his brain begins to wake up slowly and naturally. There are no notifications here, only the soft sound of the world waking up. He feels a sense of wonder that was previously drowned out by digital noise. The morning belongs to him once again. He takes a moment to stretch, feeling the tension leave his muscles. Without the distraction of the phone, he is acutely aware of his body and his breath. He feels the floor beneath his feet and the cool air on his skin. This physical grounding is the foundation of a stable mind. He isn't rushing toward a deadline or reacting to a news story. He is simply existing in the present. The mental fog that usually accompanies his morning is absent, replaced by a growing sense of clarity and purpose. He is building momentum from the inside out, rather than letting the outside world push him around. Back in the kitchen, the coffee-making process becomes a moving meditation. He grinds the beans, listens to the water boil, and watches the steam rise from the mug. He is fully engaged in the sensory experience of the morning. There is no phone on the counter this time. It remains in the other room, forgotten for now. He sits at the table and simply enjoys the first sip, tasting the richness of the brew. His thoughts are clear and organized, flowing like a calm river rather than a chaotic storm. He is nourishing his body and his mind in equal measure, preparing for the day with intention. With his mind quiet, ideas begin to surface naturally. He reaches for a journal instead of a device, jotting down thoughts and goals for the day ahead. This is the space where creativity grows, the quiet gap before the world starts making demands. He realizes that by avoiding his phone, he has gained a massive competitive advantage, the ability to think for himself. He is planning his day based on his own values, not based on the urgent emails in his inbox. The stress that used to define his mornings has been replaced by a sense of quiet confidence. He is in control. As he prepares to leave the house, he feels a significant difference in his energy levels. He isn't frazzled or behind schedule. He is ahead of the curve. He dresses with care, feeling a sense of pride in the new habit he is forming. The world outside looks brighter and more full of possibility. He knows that when he finally does check his phone, he will do so as a master, not a slave. He will respond to messages with a clear head and a steady hand. He has built a fortress of peace around his mind that will protect him throughout the day. The transition is complete. The difference between these two mornings is more than just a habit. It's a philosophy of life. One leads to a life of reaction, where you are always putting out fires started by others. The other leads to a life of action, where you are the architect of your own experience. By reclaiming your first hour, you are telling yourself that your peace is more important than the internet's noise. You are choosing to wake up to your own life, not someone else's highlight reel. It's a small change with a massive ripple effect that touches every hour that follows. Choose yourself every single morning. Think about the space you can create for your dreams when you stop filling it with distractions. Your morning is the rudder that steers the ship of your day. If you start with chaos, you will navigate toward chaos. If you start with stillness, you will navigate toward success. This simple act of delayed gratification builds the mental discipline needed for every other area of your life. It is the ultimate act of self-care in a world that is constantly trying to sell you something. Protect your attention, for it is the most valuable resource you have. The journey starts the moment you open your eyes. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, remember this choice. Leave the phone in the drawer. Look at the sky, and let your own thoughts be the first thing you hear. If you found this story helpful, join our community by subscribing and hitting the like button. Tell us in the comments, what will you do with your extra hour of peace? Share this with someone who needs to reclaim their morning. Together, we can find our way back to a life of presence and purpose. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video for more insights into a better life.